all know that military forces around the world require their troops to go through strenuous physical training. What some of you might not know is just how brutal some of this training can get. Far beyond doing a bunch of push-ups, running a few miles, or hitting some targets at the range, some military training pushes the limits of what trainees can do physically and mentally. As you'll see, in some cases, this training can come dangerously close to killing those who undertake it. Taiwanese Marines. You've probably endured the pain and discomfort of walking across stones and gravel in your bare feet. Imagine crawling across that surface on your bare skin. Not too bad? Okay, make the rocks fist size and throw in some sharp coral just for good measure. Now crawl across that for 50 meters without using your arms, and you have one of the most brutal drills undertaken by the Taiwanese Marines. North Korean Storm Corps. Not a lot is known about the secretive North Korean state. That said, every now and then defectors provide a glimpse into what goes on the other side of the border. Reportedly, a specially selected group of soldiers make up North Korea's elite Storm Corps. Part of their training sees soldiers repeatedly punch trees and jagged tin cans until their hands are bleeding and oozing pus. Before finishing, they move on to punching a pile of salt, which must feel, real good on their bleeding hands. This all supposedly gives the men a physical and psychological edge in combat. Philippines Special Operations Group. Many of us know how hard it can be to accomplish simple tasks when we're drunk. Imagine enduring a range of military drills while being plastered. Troops of the Philippines Special Operations Group do just that. They get absolutely wasted and then undergo a number of drills to weed out the trainees who don't have the right personality. Now, before you start thinking that sounds fantastic, just think about how brutal an 18-mile swim, shooting practice, and a 6-mile jog would be while suffering the spins. South Korean Special Forces. Despite being over for more than 20 years, you could say that the South Korean Army gives the term Cold War a whole new meaning. That's because they undertake some rather brutal training in the snow. Now, before you picture a bunch of troops having a snowball fight, stop. These troops strip down to their pants and undertake a variety of exercises in sub-zero temperatures. Strength and combat training can be tough enough, but now throw in some snow and temperatures as low as negative 30 degrees Celsius, and things go from hard to brutal pretty quick. People's Liberation Army of China. Want to build trust and teamwork among your co-workers? Then the PLA has a drill for you. Groups of several soldiers stand in a circle around a pit. Someone lights the fuse and the group proceeds to pass the explosive around in what is surely the most dangerous game of hot potato ever devised. After counting down, the last soldier to get the explosive throws it in the pit and everyone dies away before it explodes. Bye-bye, fingers. U.S. Marine Snipers. Being a sniper requires a steady hand, great reflexes, and a lot of patience. Apparently, it also requires a deadened sense of smell. That's because U.S. Marine snipers must prepare themselves and their camouflage suits, known as ghillie suits, by soaking in a giant pond of stagnant water and rotting vegetation repeatedly. Once you're nice and wet, you then get to roll around in the dirt over and over again. All of this is necessary to season the ghillie suit and also acts as great psychological training for the sniper. Navy SEALs. SEAL training is notoriously hard, and much of it is built around seeing just how much strength and endurance recruits actually have. However, one especially brutal training that recruits undergo is drown-proofing in a pool. This involves having your hands and feet bound while you perform various tasks in the water. The drill teaches breathing control, as well as forcing potential SEALs to learn to control fear and panic, which can set in during such a situation. Not done there, instructors also attack trainees in the water to add that extra level of intensity. Because that wasn't hard enough. Belarus Red Berets. One drill for soldiers who want to join Belarus's Red Berets involves running an obstacle course. Only this isn't your standard military obstacle course. Picture all the usual walls, beams, tires, and obstacles found in a usual course, but add a little extra. In this case, that little extra is a lot of fire, a lot of smoke, gunfire, and instructors trying to knock you off track at every turn. It's an obstacle course from hell, and we think it demonstrates why only 10% of recruits make it through training for this elite force. The Indonesian Army. On the surface, there's nothing that brutal sounding about Indonesia's military training. Recruits run an obstacle course and crawl through the mud while instructors shoot guns. There's just one big difference. The instructors shoot their assault rifles at the ground just inches from the crawling recruits using live ammunition. Sure, it gets the recruit the experience of having live rounds fired near them, but one slip up by an instructor and things can go from brutally dangerous to death pretty quickly. The Russian Special Forces. Training can be dangerous, but recruits and instructors know that realistic training can make the difference when the time comes. That said, one drill the Russian Special Forces utilize is a bit extreme. Recruits, wearing body armor, are intentionally shot in the chest by their instructor. The drill is meant to prepare recruits for potentially being shot and to teach them how to react. To us, it sounds over the top, and more than most of us could probably handle. Alright folks, so which one of these training do you think you could make it through? I know one of you is going to be in the comments all like, "Oh man, this isn't so bad, I could make it." But also while you're here, you should go ahead and click on these other videos, because you know you want to. And don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks!
Ale minuto 13, tira tutto ieri, tira